Maybe I'll move over a little bit. I'm Vivian D'Elia, and it's wonderful to see the familiar faces from years ago. I've been, I guess it was 84 I started with Polychrome, and I left in 90, I think it was 93, not positive. And for the last almost 20 years, I'm working at Movado Group. So I went from plate and film to watches and jewelry. A little bit different. I have some great memories. This is my first time back here to see the group. Jeff Jacobson kind of convinced me to come, and there are other people that I also, I don't know if you remember Jan Parker, because I still see her, and unfortunately she couldn't make it. Some other people I hear or meet or hear through third parties about where they are and what they're doing. So I'm just really excited to see everybody, and it is a lot of familiar faces. It's funny to see so many retired, you know. I was kind of the younger one back then, and now in my company I'm one of the older ones, and you know, soon to retire in the next few years. So thanks for having me here, and I can't wait to get around and catch up with everybody. Thanks.
Hello there, I'm Diana Grandolfo, and thanks to my good friend Mario over there and Ken Shimizu that connected with me. This is actually my first reunion. I actually owe it to Ken to give me my first job out of undergraduate school as a librarian, I guess in the R&D library in 1976, and I somehow squeezed my way into the R&D lab as a junior chemist at some point. And I actually loved it when we used to go and do pilot plant runs over in the manufacturing facilities. So I kind of fell in love with manufacturing. And I left there in Polychrome in 1979. Gosh, that was a long time ago. And as Mario said, Polychrome was a great place to work. We not only worked hard, but we played hard. We did lots of sports activities together. We skied, we played bridge at lunchtime. It was like a great atmosphere. And I worked in Gene Golder's lab, and I worked with Paul Giorgello. I mean, it's such a long time ago. And actually, when I left there, I transitioned into the food industry, and I've been actually in food manufacturing, and still am. I've worked for Nestle, Nabisco, Coke, and I'm with Dunkin' Brands now. So I run plants, we've shut down plants, we've started up plants. I've had a great career in food manufacturing and really enjoy that, and I'm actually working with Dunkin' right now, overseeing 19 facilities in the tri-state area. And interestingly enough, I live in the next town over, so when Ken told me about the luncheon, I'm like, oh my goodness, it's like right in my backyard. So great to see everybody. I always love coming to reunions. Thanks, Ken, for organizing it. It's always a lot of hard work to pull a group together, but thank you.
Rich Cohen, you know, it's funny how life works out. I graduated from college in '78, and my Aunt Lillian, who some of you might know, worked in payroll. I'm sure she signed some of your checks. So what are you going to do with life? I felt like Benjamin, you know, from the movie, well, it doesn't matter. Anyway, she said, what are you going to do with life? I said, I don't know. She goes, I can get you an interview with a company I work for, but the rest is up to you. So I went to the interview. Everybody remembers the big hair, and worked for this man right here. I couldn't have asked for a better boss, Jim Sheldon. We did work hard. We worked on a lot of projects, whether it was PPN, whether it was Chrome Guide, positive plates. I mean, we just had it all. And you know, I was hired as a test tube washer. I mean, boy, could I clean test tubes? But I tell you, my zest for learning and knowledge, I worked my way through and got out into the field, worked with Ray Bender, worked with Bill Palafax, went over to Germany. I got to travel, and that's all because of Polychrome and my training. I then went into sales. I marked myself into Ron Muzilla's office. I wanted more from Polychrome. And I got into sales, and I worked in field sales up until 1992. Parted ways then, but then I worked with Polychrome again, side by side, as I worked for a dealer up in Syracuse, New York, selling Polychrome product. I just couldn't get away. And I'm still working nowadays. I'm still in graphic arts. I still sell supplies. I manage a warehouse up in Syracuse, and everything is because of Polychrome. And it's great to see a lot of the faces here, a lot of people, and let's keep it going.
I worked at Polychrome from 78 to 87 in R&D, and people are right. Polychrome was a great place to work. I really enjoyed it. In fact, it was my first job out of college, and I really kind of grew up in the Polychrome umbrella, and it served me well throughout the rest of my career. I have a lot of stories to tell, but I can't tell them in public. If you want to talk about some, we'll talk at the bar later on. But there is one story I will talk about, and that is the day I interviewed. That's really safe. I remember walking into Mr. Governor's office. Mr. Governor said to me, he said, well, if you needed 3-methyl-indole, how would you get it? And I just out of graduate school, this is the kind of question I'd ask. I said, well, I take benzene, I'd run a real fast reaction with that, and elastic, then I'd run it with shock and burn conditions, I'd take methylamine. He said, no. And I thought, yeah, that was a great way to do it. How would you do it? He said, I'd go to Aldrich County. I said, oh, it's going to be one of those interviews. Okay, so then I caught on. And the reason I got my job was because of Peggy Otis. Peggy Otis, the reason I got that job. I was interviewing with Al Deutsch, so lovely guy. And I guess it came down to myself and another guy. Couldn't decide. He was pulling his hair up, what he had. I'm trying to figure out who we wanted to get. And so he asked Peggy, he said, what am I going to do? Who am I going to pick? He said, well, you know that tall guy that came in? He thanked me when I gave him a cup of coffee. And she said, I would hire him because of what he did right then. And that's how Al said, he's the guy. And that's how I came on board. So, anyway, as I left Polychrome, I went on to work in Southern California, into photoresist, electronics industry. Now I'm not retired. I actually formed a company, partnership to write patents. I'm a patent agent now, and so I write patents for all kinds of high-tech companies now. So my fingers are still in the tech world. That's really a lot of fun. It was great to see everybody. I'm better with not great with names, but I'm better with faces, and I recognize almost every one of them. So, anyway, thank you for inviting me, and
I'm Ray Bear, and I started at Polychrome on January 4th, 1982. Basically, first job out of college, and I worked for Ralph Fieldwood, so Pick was not able to come here. I remember Bob he was Bob Oakley, my boss's boss, and obviously I recognize a lot of people from a variety of times, from the early 80s through the 90s. Anyway, I worked for Polychrome for 10 years. For 12 years. We worked in Yonkers for 10 years, but then we moved over to Fort Lee. After 2 years of Polychrome in Fort Lee, I became an employee at Sun Chemical, and I'm still employed with them. So basically, I have 31 and a half years of service now. So there's still a few, I believe, Polychrome people at Sun Chemical, not too many. But just, I met so many people from the sporting activities used to do, the basketball team, the softball. I remember all those games, Super Saturday, was it, or whatever we used to do. It was just a lot of fun, and we had a lot of activities. And while Sun Chemical's a good company, it wasn't like this. Polychrome definitely had more of a family aspect, and and that's probably why I'm here today. So, thank you.
I'm John Barron. I joined Polychrome in 1987. I went to work in the IT area. I worked in Stu Sherman's organization. I worked with Rosemary, Sylvia, and several people around this table that I partnered with. We built some great systems at Polychrome. I'm very proud of that. When I came, it actually was kind of a lucky break because I left Wall Street, and a couple months later, the stock market crashed. So I thought I had a safe home. And so I'll always appreciate Polychrome for that. I've since gone back to Wall Street, but I just want to say there's many things I could say. But what I always loved about Polychrome was we built something. We built the product. We built something you could physically see. And that's something you don't these days get to do all that often anymore. Number two was we were a very big small company. I was we had the operations in Germany. I was there when we built the plant in Georgia. So we did a lot of things in the world. It seemed like a small company, but it was a really big company. And then, of course, last of all, was the spirit of family. Thank you.
I worked for Polychrome from 1974 to 1987. I was corporate controller most of that time. I just retired yesterday. I'm full-time. I do some consulting with the company I work with. I just repeat a couple of things that people have said. This was the best company to ever work for. And I've worked for a lot of companies afterwards, and this was the best place to work. It was the best bunch of people. It was the best family of people that people have said, and I totally enjoyed it. And I am in contact with Ralph Field, Joe Saccone, Ralph Maggio, and it's the memories were just great, you know, that I had with working with a lot of you people here and just working with the whole company. And let's see, I have 4 grandchildren, and I hope to enjoy them.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Stephen Rogers. I worked at Polychrome from 1989, yes, to 1992, a short while there. I worked for Ralph Field, and then they moved me over into the factory, and I worked for Meshia. I mean, when I first started coming in, I remember my first interview, I sat with Ralph Field, and then I went to Ralph Mashio, and it was the strangest thing. Ralph goes to me at the end, "Can I ask you one question? You play any basketball?" It just threw me off guard, but the beautiful thing about Polychrome was it was a great family attitude, an atmosphere. I guess a lot of us used to go to the Red Robin on Friday nights and have a few drinks and play Papa Shot. And I played with the basketball team. I was really looking forward to see Pete Morales, who didn't show up. But I mean, I see a lot of faces, and it's just good to be here. Right now, I'm currently working for a nonprofit in New York. In Manhattan, we deal with hospital stuff and grant making. And my part-time hobby is traveling and taking pictures. But as I said, the faces here that I see, it's just good to see people that you haven't seen in years. Yes, and I'm just happy to be here.
In 1960, I was 30 years old. I had worked mostly in the factories. Mr. Niemeyer, I don't know if anybody here remembers Mr. Niemeyer, he hired me. And he said, well, let's go in and see how your typing is. Well, my job, what it was typing on the graph type. So you couldn't go fast. That's what we used to send out different things to people on metal. And we used to send out a lot of advertisements to possible lithographers. We would also give away fishing lures, those big rulers with the center ruler. We got a lot of answers, but we didn't get a lot of work. They wanted the free stuff. So then Mr. Niemeyer left and Mr. Randolph took over. Under Mr. Niemeyer, we had to go to salesmen. Had to go and pull out, tear out pages from the phone book that had lithographers in it. That's how we built up our mailing list. I worked there for 35 years. Sometimes I don't know the names, but I know everybody here because when I went into the mail, Mr. Howard. Somebody said something about Mr. Howard. Mr. and Mrs. Howard were very nice people. We used to have party, and there was a nice big Christmas party at the factory for people who worked and also for the people upstairs. He knew everybody's name, how many children you had. He walked to the plant. You don't get that today. Your boss doesn't care who the heck you are. Just get your work done and don't ask for anything. Well, I retired when I was 65, I'm now 83. I'm still working and have another one next year.